Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Improve Our Play. My name's Solistic, and we're going to talk today about the map DragonShire. I'm going to try and give you guys some useful hints and tips at trying to play the map a little better. Just going to check when this is recording. Excellent. So, what is DragonShire? Well, DragonShire is a 3-lane map. 1, 2, 3. And it is the only map in the pool, I should say, that does not have a boss. There is no boss on this map whatsoever. So, let's talk about the objective. So, there's a shrine in the top lane, which is here, and there's one in the bottom lane. Once you collect both of these, it will allow you to click on this statue here, the Dragonite. And once you click on it for about 2 to 3 seconds, you can control the Dragonite. And the Dragonite has 2 different abilities. His Q is a fire breath that deals damage in front of him, and his W knocks players away. Now, the Dragonite deals bonus damage to structures, so it's very powerful, especially late game at taking down these structures. Early game, not so much. So, I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit. I'm playing this game with myself, obviously, and the Lime and Wraithblade from the team I play with. Now, because there's going to be a lot of fighting between your lanes, you really want people, I want to use the word strong and confident heroes. So if you're having troubles with a lane, let's say there's a Sergeant Hammer in bottom and they're struggling, Alba Velocity could switch over with them. And it's important because you're going to be doing a lot of fighting in lanes. So you've got to really get used to those heroes. You've got to be confident to fight over the objectives and switch out your rotations if you're having problems. So this is what happens when you capture Shrine. It goes blue. As you can see, the bottom one is red. Nothing happens. You have to get both of them before they can do anything. Now, even if you get access to the top Shrine and you get the bottom Shrine, you still have to click on this, which is about a 2 to 3 second cast, as I said. Like here, they don't just instantly get the Dragonite. They have to click on it. Now, the Lost Viking here is trying to get it. Now we still have to battle over the person in mid lane. He's getting a little bit of jip here from an Abathur Locust, which is pretty funny to see. Now we've managed to cap the top shrine, so you can't get the Dragonite now. So my number one piece of advice on this map, guys, would be don't focus on getting the Dragonite. Denying the Dragonite is as important as getting the Dragonite. So if you can hold a shrine, they can't get the Dragonite. Don't try and force the issue. I see a lot of players really trying to commit 3-4 players, or really trying to push a lane that they can't really push against and end up dying, giving the enemy team XP. When the enemy team gets more XP, they get stronger and it becomes even harder. So if you can't capture the shrine, hey, don't worry. As long as you hold one shrine, it's fine. Remember, even if they cap bottom and mid, even if they cap bottom and top, I should say, they still have to control middle. Okay, so we control both shrines now, and here's the shrine's blue here for us to pick it up. So I send my lovely Vikings down. I send Eric to capture it, and I keep my other 2 to body block for my Viking. Now this is what happens when you have the Dragonite. So if you look at the damage it deals to structures, it's pretty substantial. Now, the Dragonite lasts for 50 seconds, 52 I think actually. So the idea is you want to try and make this dragon last as long as you possibly can. You want to try and get as much of this time out here. So I've managed to take out 2 towers. Well, I'm about to take out the second tower, and I'm going to deal some damage to the gate, I think. Yeah, that's about right. I got about 13 seconds left of it and it falls. That's fine. What you want to do with the Dragonite is don't just throw it into a tower and don't get it killed straight away. It's a real waste of the Dragonite. You've worked very hard for it, make the most out of it. So, after the Dragonite's done, what do you do? Well, some people might say camp in the early game. Now, if you just pick up this camp right now, and the enemy's lane in here, which they are, what's going to happen is these mercenaries are going to wander up here into the lane, and the enemy's going to kill them, because they have no reason not to. So, what we like to do is time the mercenaries in time for the shrine. Now, even though the shrine is here, if we have 2 of our members fighting 2 of their members here, the mercenaries are going to be pushing down here. So they either have to let the mercenaries push this lane into the tower, which our team would get experience, or they have to come down and deal with them. Now this might not seem like big of a gap from here to here, but what that does do is turns this into a 2v1 or 2v nothing, and it allows you to capture the shrine. So we've got the Dragon Knight coming up in 23 seconds. Illidan trades his life there for a Viking, which is totally not worth it because each of the Vikings are worth only 1/4 of a kill each. So if you kill one Viking, but I managed to kill you, I'm getting 4 times the XP you're getting. So what I'm trying to do here is get these knights and trying to get some mercenaries in time for the shrine. Now I spoke to my team and I've told them I'm going to try and get this countdown here, and they say that's fine. So what happens here is the enemy team gets the top shrine, they have the bottom shrine. Now all they need to do is click in the middle, but again, just because they have the top and the bottom doesn't mean they're going to get it. All you have to do is stop them, capture a shrine, hit them, and they can't cap it. So what I'm going to do now, the mercenaries in top lane, as I said, there was no objective because they already captured it, so they just killed the mercenaries. Always think about getting mercenaries as a way to take people off an objective or to distract them. If you've seen my Cursed Hollows map, that's a good example. Now, I've grabbed these mercenaries down here, and the bottom lane is being pushed quite heavily by Tychus and Abatha. Now it's a bit of back and forth, we hold bottom, they hold top. Now let's just see what happens with these mercenaries with Tychus and Abatha. So, this won't always happen, guys, but the enemy team did not want to come off that top shrine. They really wanted this Dragon Knight. And because they really wanted to capture this shrine, and they wanted to hold it, I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit. They're going to lose their one tower, their gate, their other tower, and now they're in risk of losing their keep. Now I'm going to pause it for a second. The enemies had to send back Vala, who's now also dead, nearly. And they've had to send back Zeratul, which means they have 3 other people out on the map. Now, we only have a Tychus down here, which means we have 4 people on the map, which, as you can see now, we already hold bottom because Tychus is still here. Now, this is going to allow us, because they're pushing down the bottom, to capture this top shrine. This is just the advantage of capturing these mercenaries. So we capture the mercenaries, Tychus push bottom with the help of Abatha, Tychus, and the mercenaries. They had to fall back to defend that. Upon defending that, they had to spare players to do that, and that has resulted in us capturing another Dragon Knight. So, great news for us. Now, we're going to capture the Dragon Knight, and I get a little bit brazen with this one, but as we can see, the Dragon Knight is starting to do 560 damage a swing, which is that's a big chunk of damage, and we managed to take out a fort. These are called forts, by the way, if no one knew, and these are keeps. They do have different names. So I'm just going to push in. Now I have 32 seconds left with this Dragon Knight, and I'm getting hammered with it pretty good. I should have fallen back here, but I decided to try and... Now, when you're in Void Prism, the time on that Dragon Knight still goes down. I have about 10 seconds left, and it ends up falling, which is fine. It's neither here nor there. But never... the cancel was for Zeratul's Void Prism. I was asking him to cancel the Void Prism. Because if you don't know, Zeratul's green bubble that he puts out, you can press R to summon it, which is your heroic ability button. But you can also press it again to cancel it. Now, when you get in 10, 15, 20 minutes into a game, and death time to start to become a little bit longer. Excuse me, sorry. This map is very punishing if you start losing players. Like, this Nazebo is out of the fight for 30 seconds. Now, on other maps, that's pretty bad. But let's say a shrine activated right now. They're going to be a player out. So we could send 3 people to top, 2 people to bottom, capture it, and they would only have 4 people to contest it. Which is very hard on a map like this when you have to divide resources. Because remember, you want someone in top to capture the top, someone in bottom, and someone in mid to contest. Now, they could send all 4 players top to contest us, but we could send 4 players top, and we could send 1 player bottom to capture the shrine. And after he's captured it, because all their players would be in top, we could walk up and grab the Dragon Knight. So, basically, losing players late on in this game is very painful. So our Meridian player here, which I think is the Lime, it is indeed, has decided to grab these mercenaries, which is a great choice. That, by there, was a little bit of a misplay on the Nazebo. He's trolling us now because he realises he's dead. He summoned a Vengeful Spirit right in front of Meridian, who can stun. Now, the enemy team has 3 players dead: Illidan, Valor, Nazebo. We have all our players active. Now, because of that, we can just walk up the top lane. We already hold bottom. And very shortly, I'm just going to fast forward this somewhat. We're going to walk up the middle. And Valor, for some reason, decided to attack the Vikings. A lot of players underestimate the power of the Vikings. Very, very powerful hero. Very weak early game though, very weak. And what this allows us to do, because the enemy team was dead, is capture another Dragonite. So guys, just to recap, remember, use the mercenaries to get your the opposing team's attention off the shrines. You don't have to cap both shrines. If you contest one shrine, the enemy can't get the Dragonite. That's just as important. And late game, you've got to sort of really roam this as a team. You've got to be careful on these death timers, because if anyone dies, especially on a map like this, you're really dividing resources between lanes. You're going to find it hard to do much of anything. If you've got a player dead for 30 seconds, and the enemy team has one more resource, and it's not like Cursed Hollow where you can sort of do other things. When the shrines are up, you're fighting over them. Okay? The XP lead has gotten quite a bit now. We have 31 kills to their... Wow! 31 kills to their 11. And because of that, our Abath has been split pushing as well, which has been great. And that's leading to an even bigger advantage. 21 plays 17 in the levels. We do then go on to win this map, as I'm pretty sure we just push in at the end. Let's just find out. And the shrines come active again. And at this point, we're just pushing in. The Valor's dead for 37 seconds. The Zeratul dead for 17 seconds. We're in a pretty commanding presence at this point of the game. And this is... don't quite understand this. Abath is attached to someone, but it's not capturing the shrine. I don't know if that's intended or if that's a bug. But I just want to watch this a second. Yes, so when he unattaches, he can grab that. And what's happened is, I have a Viking on top lane, Viking in middle lane, Abath captures bottom for us. And we now end up pushing in with the Dragonite at the end of the game, and we end up winning. Just to show you, at the end of the game, the Dragonite is hitting for 880 damage at level 22, and that is a phenomenal amount of damage, so it is a very important objective. So I hope you guys learned something, fingers crossed anyway. If you've got any comments, post them below, negative, good comments, whatever, just keep them constructive, please. I hope you've learned something, and I will get another video out shortly. Thanks for your time watching, and have a good day.